Picture a peaceful night in Agra, India, disrupted by a sudden fiery intrusion from the cosmos. From the tranquil star-studded sky, a flaming meteorite streaks across the heavens, a fiery comet etching a scar in the night. It crashes with an earth-shattering impact, a sonic boom echoing across the city, the ground shaking as if in fear of this celestial visitor. In the aftermath, a crater, a gaping wound in the earth. From this impact site, an unexpected phenomenon begins to unfold. The once harmless mites, creatures of the underground, start to behave in rather peculiar ways. They move with purpose, with an intelligence previously unseen. Their tiny bodies pulsate with an eerie glow, the aftermath of the meteorite's fumes. They roam the city under the cover of darkness, carrying out tasks that seem oddly structured, almost organized. Before long, it was clear. Something had changed the mites, and it was far from benign. Enter Dr. Tanmay, a local scholar with a keen and curious mind. In the bustling city of Agra, the meteorite crash had piqued his interest like nothing ever had. Driven by a thirst for knowledge, he had been studying the effects of the meteorite crash, specifically on the local mite population. Dr. Tanmay observed a strange phenomenon. The mites, previously harmless creatures, were behaving oddly. They had taken on a new form of consciousness, exhibiting behaviors that were far from ordinary. His research uncovered that the meteorite's fumes had a profound and disturbing effect on these tiny creatures. The mites were not only gaining awareness, but also harboring ambitions to rule the world. As he delved deeper, Dr. Tanmay's studies revealed a chilling fact. The mites were evolving at a rapid pace, their cognitive abilities expanding exponentially. It was as if the meteorite had unlocked a latent potential within them. They were strategizing, planning, and showing signs of collective intelligence. They had started building their own world beneath the surface of the earth, a dark empire ruled by the mites, where the meteorite was worshipped as their god. Dr. Tanmay's research took a more alarming turn when he discovered the mites' plan to control the world's water supply. Water, the lifeblood of humanity, was now under threat. The mites were developing a machine that could compress water into tiny capsules, giving them the ability to control its distribution. Their aim was to control the humans by controlling their most essential need. Dr. Tanmay was petrified but resolute. He knew he had to alert the world about this imminent danger. The mites, once just a small part of Earth's vast ecosystem, were now a threat to humanity's survival. The meteorite had transformed them into a force to be reckoned with. Little did humans know, a war was brewing beneath their feet, and the man standing between the mites and world domination was none other than Dr. Tanmay, armed with his research, determination, and an unwavering spirit. The fight for humanity's survival had begun. Beneath the earth, in the shadow of the meteorite, a new world was taking shape. This realm, carved from the very bedrock of the earth, was not the dominion of man, but of the mites. The meteorite, their god and savior, had awakened their minds and given them purpose. Their once simple existence, crawling through the dirt, had transformed into a sophisticated society with a singular, chilling goal: to rule the world above. In this subterranean kingdom, the mites bustled and scurried, working tirelessly to build their empire. Their god, the meteorite, was enshrined at the heart of their realm, its radiant glow illuminating the labyrinthine tunnels and chambers. The mites worshipped it, not with prayers or hymns, but with their actions, their unwavering dedication to the cause it had bestowed upon them. Their plan was as audacious as it was terrifying. Understanding the vital importance of water to the humans above, they devised a scheme to seize control of it. The mites, with their newfound consciousness, had developed tools and machines of an intricacy that belied their minuscule size. Their crowning achievement was a device capable of compressing water into tiny capsules, allowing them to hoard and control this precious resource. Their target was the Yamuna River, a vital lifeline for millions. Nestled near the Taj Mahal, it was the perfect target. The mites understood the significance of this river to the humans. To control the Yamuna was to control the people. Their plans were set, their machines ready. In the darkness of their kingdom, under the watchful gaze of the meteorite, the mites prepared for their audacious strike. They would emerge from the earth, not as simple pests, but as rulers, ready to claim the world that had long overlooked them. The mites were ready to strike, their target, the Yamuna River. Meanwhile, on the surface, the mites launched their first attack. A diversion, a masterstroke of tactical genius. The mites, those sentient beings birthed from the cosmic dust of a meteorite, orchestrated an assault on the far side of Agra, away from the Taj Mahal and their true objective, the Yamuna River. Their strategy was cunning and ruthless. The mites, using their newfound consciousness and abilities, caused havoc, sowing fear and confusion. Buildings crumbled, streets became battlegrounds, and the peaceful city of Agra was thrown into pandemonium. The unsuspecting humans, taken aback by this sudden flurry of activity, had no choice but to respond. The human forces mobilized, rushing to the scene of the attack. Tanks and soldiers flooded the streets, helicopters filled the sky, all racing towards the heart of the disturbance. The city's defenses, its police force, its military, its people, they were all drawn to this spectacle of chaos, leaving the Yamuna River, the very lifeblood of Agra, unprotected. Unbeknownst to them, this was exactly what the mites had planned. A diversion, a feint, a ruse. While the city's defenders were occupied, the mites were free to execute their real plan. The mites were subtle, they were silent, they were invisible. They moved like shadows, slipping past the distracted human forces, and made their way towards the Yamuna River. The diversion was not just a mere distraction, it was a statement, a declaration of war. The mites were not just pests. They were a force to be reckoned with. They had a goal, they had a plan, and they would stop at nothing to achieve it. And so, as the city of Agra was caught up in a whirlwind of chaos and confusion, the mites set their sights on the Yamuna River. They were ready to take the next step in their grand scheme to control the essential life source of the humans, water. As chaos erupted, the stage was set for the mites' real plan. In the midst of chaos, Dr. Tanmay made a chilling discovery. His heart pounded in his chest as he examined the blueprints of a machine designed to compress water into tiny capsules. The mites, it seemed, were planning to control humanity's most vital resource, water. The thought sent shivers down his spine, but there was more. He turned his attention to the gas emanating from the meteorite. His intuition had been right. The mites were dependent on this gas. It was their oxygen, their life source. They thrived on it, growing stronger and more powerful. But why did they grow weak during the day and stronger at night? The answer lay in the nature of the gas itself. Under the harsh rays of the sun, the gas lost its potency. The ultraviolet rays, it seemed, were like kryptonite to the mites. It was a small but significant vulnerability, a chink in their armor. The mites were not invincible. They had a weakness, and it was one that humanity could exploit. The reality of the situation was terrifying. The mites were intelligent, organized, and had a plan to control the world, but they also had a dependence, a reliance on the meteorite's gas, and that dependence was their Achilles heel. Dr. Tanmay's mind raced. He knew he was on borrowed time. The mites were growing stronger, and their plan to control water was already in motion. He had to act, and act fast. The stakes were high. The survival of humanity was at risk. But there was a glimmer of hope, a possibility of turning the tide, and it all hinged on the mites' dependence on the meteorite's gas and their vulnerability to the sun's ultraviolet rays. With newfound fear and understanding, Dr. Tanmay knew the battle for Earth had just begun. Under the cover of distraction, the mites activated their most ambitious contraption yet. Nestled near the Taj Mahal, on the banks of the Yamuna River, a machine of unparalleled design and purpose began its work. Engineered by the mites, this machine was not merely a creation of steel and wires, but a testament to their cunning and determination. Its purpose, to control the world's most precious resource, water. This water control machine, capable of compressing vast volumes of water into tiny capsules, was the cornerstone of the mites' plan to rule over humanity. As the machine whirred into action, the tranquil waters of the Yamuna River began to shrink, disappearing into the belly of the mechanical monster. With each passing second, the mites' control over the world's water supply grew. As the machine hummed to life, the fate of humanity hung in the balance, to be continued.